Okay guys, today I am gonna talk about finish reading 100 Places London. Uh that's not what I did read. Which one I did read last time? Oh, this one. Okay. I did read that. Okay. Okay, number 3 is Theatre Royal Drury Lane. The Theatre Roy or Drury Lane is reportedly the most haunted theater in the world, but the spines that thread the boards at the theater were are always pleased to encounter in the prohibition. According to tradition, seeing one of the theater's many ghosts is a sign of good luck. Oh, so that's what the see people for an actor and position Precision has the oldest theatre site in London is still in use. The theatre Wally is home to a broadcast of petitions. The moment reminds of the mortuary man and the grave and ghost will find within a brick up package deep in the bowels of the theatre. In 1848, a little is a knowing about the unhappy fate of this spirit who is now factual site in the theatre. The theatre hall is also home to the ghost of notorious actor Charles Mencken, who once killed a man in an argument over a wig. Okay, you kill a man because you argue with the wig. It's just a wig. Okay. Sutton House. Have you heard the howling haunted of Hackney, only betting of the hundreds of night comes from Sutton House that belong to Roy and Midget John Mitchell. Witnessing 1550/1558. Man, that's back in 1500s. In addition to several hundreds, Sun, never mind, is haunted by the White Lady, rumored to be a woman named Frances, who tragically slow down, Kara, died giving birth to twins. in 1574. Her prediction can be seen hovering around the old building during the revolution of building in the 1900s. A student is said to have woke to see a lady in a blue dress hovering over him. Okay, number 5 is Hampton Court Palace. Some of the most haunted places in London are also popular landmarks with over 500 years of history. Hampton Court has been the stage for the deaths of Henry IV. Wives is no surprise that visitors have experienced many hauntings throughout years. Catherine Heywood the Fifth, the wife of the King Henry IV, has given the haunted gallery its chilling name. She can be seen dressed in white and flowing down the gallery towards the door of the lower pew. As she reaches it, turns back and screams until passing through the door. Henry IV, the third wife, Jane Seymour, haunts Hampton Court Palace. She has been seen walking the grounds of Court on the Thursday of the birth of her son Edward, and that's my pappy's middle name, Edward. She is said to in Saint the stairs leading to the silver stick gallery dressed in a white robe and carry a candle. When the church of the Hampton Court Palace was pulled down, the remains of the lady in grey were disturbed. Somber. The spirit returned to her ritual rooms to attend her spinning the wheel. Over the years, many people have heard the sound of the lonely spinning the wheel as the lady in the grey, unable to rest, continues her work until the end of time. Okay, I'm gonna play this, if you guys don't mind.
Hampton Court Palace has seen 500 years of dramatic and often violent history. Many have lived and died here. Small wonder then that it is often considered to be one of the most haunted buildings in Britain. During the day, it is a sumptuous stage on which the visiting public sees stories of its royal past played out. But when the tourists leave and the shadows lengthen, that stage is set for altogether more sombre, darker stories. I'm David Packer. I'm a warder here at Hampton Court Palace, and I'm going to take you to some of the places where these darker stories are played out. Hampton Court Palace is most closely associated with King Henry VIII, the mighty and larger-than-life Tudor monarch.
I heard about this on YouTube, about it, the history of it.
It is said that 3 of them have never quite left. For instance, here, the Silver Stick Stairs, named after the staff of office of one of the monarch's personal attendants. At the top of these stairs is the room where King Henry VIII's third wife, Jane Seymour,
Seymour. Okay.
longed-for son. In that room, she died less than a fortnight later. And it's down these stairs, around the anniversary of her death, that a silent, white figure glides down, holding a lighted taper, out into Clock Court in the direction of her son's rooms. King Henry's 5th wife, Catherine Howard, was a teenager when she became Queen of England and wife of a bloated, impotent husband who it would appear that she
I
took her
wish I
pleasures
had the
elsewhere.
British
But here,
accent, like
at Huntington
English
Palace, she
accent.
was
That would
arrested
be,
for those alleged adulteries and placed
I
under lock
don't
and
know,
key
I
in
just
her
like the accent.
apartment, there to await a journey to the Tower of London and her date with the headsman's axe. Legend has it, though, she got free and made her way here, to the gallery outside the royal pew where she believed Henry to be praying, there to plead for her life. The guards took her and dragged her screaming back to her incarceration and her eventual doom. Over the years, many members of public and visitors and staff have reported hearing the screams, feeling the chills, and often fainting. In the reign of Elizabeth I, a lady named Sybil Penn succumbed to smallpox in the palace. As she had been the foster mother effectively to young Prince Edward, she was buried in a magnificent tomb at Hampton Church, not far from here. She lay there undisturbed until the 1800s, when her tomb was destroyed during a storm. At that point, she seems to have moved back into the palace. The Ponsonby family, who lived in the rooms behind me here, started to report many strange and uncanny happenings. Servants complained of being woken by cold hands on their face in the night, the sound of an old woman muttering and moaning, and the whirring, trundling of a spinning wheel. The investigations found a secret room, long forgotten, plastered over, and in that room was a very old, very worn spinning wheel. The discovery doesn't seem to have deterred Sybil at all. From that day to this, she's been seen by many people, public and staff, Victorian soldiers and modern office workers. All have been disturbed by their encounters with the cold, grey lady. Not all of the ghosts here have a royal pedigree. One evening, while closing up the door there to my left, a warder turned to find herself standing less than a yard from a tall, dark, cowled figure. Some of the ghosts aren't even human. In some panelled rooms elsewhere in the palace, a large dog lies quietly by a now cold fire. And some ghosts aren't even seen or heard. They're smelt. In Queen Caroline's private apartments, warders frequently report not just smelling, but being followed by the scent of perfume, lavender and rose petals in Queen Caroline's empty private rooms. For the last 170 years, we warders have been at Hampton Court Palace both by day and by night. We have been in a unique position to collect not only ghostly stories from the visitors, but to have those experiences ourselves. The stories I've been telling you come from statements from warders, other members of staff and the public down through the years. As trustworthy as these statements may be, they don't constitute physical evidence. We had nothing that we could study until 2003, when these perfectly solid, rather boring
2003,
modern
I
fire
will
doors
be,
burst open day after day, captured on CCTV.
I will
On
be
one particular occasion, which
13
millions
years
of
old.
people have seen on the internet and in newspapers, a figure, a rather strange, tall, spare figure, appears after
I
the
saw
doors
this
open
on YouTube.
and closes them. The camera looks down through the doorway and sees in as far as here. Day after day, these doors burst open. Day after day, there was nothing here. On one day, a figure appears, possibly a member of the public, closes these doors. What's important, what's interesting, is not who closed these doors, but what opened them. If these walls could talk, they could tell us the truth behind these tales, and many more besides. The only way for you to find out for yourself is to come here and let them talk to you.
Yes, please. Okay, guys. I will stop right here and finish it tomorrow. Sorry. So, I will see you guys tomorrow. So, keep walking, rolling, and bye. Bye.